my goodness. Oh my gosh, so I love this question so much. I know it may seem as though I'm only talking about estate planning, I'm only talking about well preservation, preservation planning, etc., outfits, etc., but if y'all ask me anything like this, I am an open book. I love stuff like this. I love talking about stuff like this. So yeah, the question is, hi, just discovering your page and I was curious, did you go straight into law school after undergrad? What was your journey, etc.? I am interested in your journey to where you are now. A lot of stuff happened between undergrad and law school, so the straight answer is no, I did not go to law school straight out of undergrad because I did not know that I wanted to be an attorney in undergrad. That's also the beauty of law. The whole pre-law thing, majoring in like criminal justice, etc., you do not have to be that person to get into law school. I'm a full-blown attorney now with a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in public health. Like I said, it took me a lot of programs and points to end up figuring out that law was my passion, something that I actually want to do. Initially, I thought I wanted to be a psychologist, therapist, etc., whatever, and that's why I got my bachelor's degree in psychology. But after undergrad, I ended up getting into a public health program just because, even prior to getting into that program, I was always interested in topics like maternal health, maternal mortality rates, especially amongst, like Black women, brown women, etc., because that's a really big problem in the United States. Public health program kind of seemed great in that aspect, to do research, to study, to advocate, to kind of, have some knowledge behind me when I actually start talking about these sorts of topics. I got into my public health program just based off of the strength of always being someone who had a passion in educating, but also had a passion in talking about topics of maternal health, talking about topics of, community resources, healthcare resources, advocacy resources, access to food, access to water, access to, clean food, growing your own food, etc. I was always interested in that sort of thing, and I felt at the time that the public health program would be the best decision to allow me to make a career out of that. I end up pivoting, of course, to law school, as we all see, just because the road I was going down in my public health program, I did epidemiology, I did biostats, I did statistics, I did health law. All of those classes were leading me down a path of research because the next step was to get my doctoral degree. And of course, that was never what my purpose was. That was never what my passion was. Not, crunching numbers behind a desk or in a lab trying to figure out what's the cause, what can we do, how can we study it, etc. That was never for me. That was not my point of getting into public health. So my health law class ended up being a very, very life-changing, class for me, because I was able to see the collaboration on the health side, but also the legal side, and how that hands-on approach between the attorney working in the health law field literally had a direct impact, but also direct access to the community as opposed to being a researcher. Of course, talking with my health law professor, talking about what my options were, I ended up taking the LSAT, applying for law school, getting accepted, and then, going into law school thinking that I was going to be a health law attorney or some sort of medical malpractice attorney because of my interest and my passion with maternal health and maternal mortality. But of course, I end up pivoting to estate planning because when I found out about estate planning, because where I'm from, you don't really talk about estate planning as much, but when I ended up finding out about estate planning, I felt as though the particular area of law served my inner passion of prevention, community involvement, community education, empowerment. I felt like all of those facets that kind of sort of identified me and identified who I am as a person, they all kind of collaborated or fell into estate planning, wealth preservation, preserving your assets, etc. Like all of this, like that is an empowering area of law, I felt, but also it is a preventative area of law, just like public health. My interest with that is preventative medicine as opposed to reactive medicine. So I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, took lots of courses, took lots of classes to end up realizing finally that estate planning, public health, community outreach, community advocacy, access to resources, access to education, all of that kind of tailored estate planning, but further kind of led me to opening up my own law practice as well. Because for one thing, no one is going to tell me when I can talk to the people. No one is going to tell me how I can talk to the people, what topics I can talk to the people, and what resources I can present to people. Because I'm not here to gatekeep. I'm not here to do anything to, not uplift the community, because I feel like the community uplifted already makes for a better society. It makes for an empowered person, makes for a healthier person. So that's what led me to estate planning, but that's also what even further led me to opening up my own practice, being on my own time, but also being on, my own schedule in regards to who I'm going to help, how I'm going to help them, and I'm not going to stop helping them. And yeah, so like I said, I love these types of questions. I love these types of conversations. Please feel free to keep asking me these types of conversations. Although it may not seem like I am forthcoming about this type of stuff or this type of information, I 100% am, and I am like an open book once you get me started. So thanks for this question, and if you have any more, just leave a comment, all right?